Red Dead Redemption 2 is packed with chaotic gunfights, high-stake heists, and daring rescues that get your blood pumping. But what makes these missions so unforgettable isn't only the action, it's the story underneath. We watch Arthur Morgan wrestle with loyalty, betrayal, the collapse of the Vanderlyn gang, and, above all else, redemption. His journey transforms from being an outlaw surviving day to day into a man trying to leave behind something meaningful, even if it costs him everything. And even long after the gang is gone, we follow John Marston as he struggles to escape its shadow and build a new life worth fighting for. These missions combine explosive set pieces with gut-wrenching choices, quiet moments of reflection, and emotional payoffs that stick with you long after the credits roll. They're not just great missions, they're the heart of what makes this Western a masterpiece. But of all those incredible moments, which ones truly stand out? Hello guys, and welcome back to The Crypt. Today, we're counting down the top 10 missions in Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, before we get started, spoiler warning for any of you who haven't played Red Dead 2. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. Number 10, Hell Hath No Fury. When I was putting together this list, I knew I wanted a mission from chapter 5, the Guarma chapter, where Arthur and the gang are stranded. A lot of players remember this chapter because it's just a departure from the main game. No horseback riding, no bounty hunting, no animal hunting, basically no open world freedom. It strips away everything that makes Red Dead 2 feel, well, like Red Dead 2. That leaves a lot of players frustrated. But in place of all that freedom, we get some truly standout missions. And for me, Hell Hath No Fury is the best of them. This mission really captures the conflict between the French royalists and revolutionaries, and the Vanderlyn gang's involvement. The gang are helping Hercule win his war in exchange for a boat ride back to America. But it doesn't stay peaceful for long. The area quickly turns into a full-blown battlefield, complete with tower shootouts and even a warship firing cannons at you. It's over the top and a little ridiculous, sure, but that's exactly why it's so memorable. Nothing beats Arthur manning a cannon and destroying the ship in a glorious, cinematic victory against Fusar's forces.
Yes! They're going down!
In the end, like the chapter itself, this mission is an action-packed departure from the main game. Number 9, A Short Walk in a Petty Town. I was torn between this mission and Blessed Are the Meek, where you break Micah out of prison, but ultimately this one stood out more because of how it begins.
This don't feel right. Now it don't feel right. I could have told you.
Sean abruptly being killed is shocking, brutal, and it completely shifts the tone of the Rhodes storyline. Arthur and Sean were already suspicious about this so-called security job in Rhodes, and sure enough, it turned out to be an ambush. What follows is a classic Red Dead shootout through the streets of a small town, with Arthur and Micah cutting down enemies left and right. And for a moment, you might even wonder if Micah set this whole thing up, knowing about his eventual betrayal. But no, this ambush actually came from the Gray family themselves. When the dust settles, Bill is captured by Sheriff Lee Gray. But of course, we know how that ends. The mission blends the sudden tragic death of Sean with the kind of chaotic, action-packed shootouts that define Red Dead 2. Overall, this mission perfectly captures the blend of heartbreak and violence that defines Red Dead 2's story. Number 8, A Quiet Time. Oh, the irony in this mission's title. This is easily one of the standout missions in Red Dead 2, not because of gunfights or heists, but because how ridiculously fun and stupid it is. After hearing about Micah being thrown in jail, Arthur takes Lenny to Valentine to drink and blow off some steam. At first, it's just a casual night at the saloon, until things quickly spiral out of control. A man named Jeb tries to pick a fight, and depending on your choice, you can deal with him however you see fit. But that's only the start. What follows is pure drunken chaos. Arthur loses his Lenny in the bar, stumbling around and shouting his name, only to find him trying and failing to balance a glass on his head.
You know what? I don't know.
Then Arthur loses him again. This time, Lenny's in the middle of a fight, which somehow turns into dancing. And then, Arthur loses him yet again. The alcohol hits so hard that every single person in the bar suddenly looks like Lenny. What's even funnier is that even the button prompts during this section reflects how drunk Arthur is. Eventually, Arthur finds his Lemmy again, and the two start slapping each other senseless before laughing it off and drinking even more.
You're a good friend to me, Arthur. Cheers. Cheers. Not you again.
And of course, Jeb shows up once more, giving players the option to nearly drown him before escaping or failing to escape the law. no matter how it plays out, the mission ends with Arthur and Lenny waking up hungover, the ultimate cherry on top of a night of drunken shenanigans. If you ever done stupid shit while drunk with friends, this mission captures that energy perfectly. And that's what makes A Quiet Time so memorable and so much fun. Number 7, Archeology for beginners. Since Native Americans play such a huge role in Chapter 6, I knew I wanted to include a mission that really captures their conflict with the US government and Arthur's place in that conflict. For me, Archeology for beginners does exactly that. In this mission, Arthur accompanies Rain's Fall, the chieftain of the KRYPT, to a sacred site. Along the way, there are some powerful moments of connection. While gathering herbs for Arthur's sickness, you can choose dialogue options that reveal more about both of them. One optional discussion touches on how Dutch doesn't really have Eagle Flies' best interest at heart, a tragic bit of foreshadowing. But the most surprising conversation comes if Arthur opens up about his son.
I had a son once, years ago.
What was his name?
Isaac. His mother, Eliza, the waitress I met. When she got pregnant, she knew who I was, what my life was. Every few months, I'd stop by there for a few days. He was such a good kid. I got there one day and saw 2 crosses outside. I knew right away.
It's a rare and emotional moment, giving us a glimpse of the life Arthur could have lived if he wasn't an outlaw. When the two arrive at the sacred site, they find the teepee burned down and Rainfall's ceremonial pipe, the Shanupa, stolen. His horror and grief in this moment perfectly captures the conflict. Despite Rain's Fall signing 3 peace treaties with the government, the US Army continues to destroy and desecrate his people's culture. Arthur steps in to make things right by infiltrating the army camp and retrieving the Shanupa. The player even gets the choice to spare or kill the soldiers. What makes this mission so strong is how much it weaves together. Dutch manipulating Eagle Fly's anger, the tragedy of Arthur's son, the ongoing injustice faced by Native Americans, and Rain's Fall's desperate desire for peace. It may not be as action-packed or fun as previous missions, but its storytelling is unforgettable. Number 6, Blood Feuds, Ancient and Modern. This mission perfectly captures the duality of the Vanderlyn gang. Equal parts caring and ruthless. When Arthur returns to camp, he learns that Abigail and John's son, Jack, has gone missing. The gang suspects that the Braithwaites took him as revenge for stealing their prized horses, and without hesitation, the gang saddles up and rides to Braithwaite Manor. What follows is one of the most iconic moments in the entire game. The gang walking side by side, rifles in hand, as they approach the manor.
Get down here now, you inbred trash!
It's cinematic, a little cliche, but unforgettable. Inside, Dutch tries to talk things out, but words quickly give way to bullets. The gang storms the manor, kicking down doors, gunning down Braithwaites, and tearing the place apart in search of Jack and Catherine Braithwaite. When they finally corner her, we see Dutch's mask start to slip.
Where is the boy?
You filth.
All right, we get her out of here.
What about down?
His charm and charisma are giving way to something darker, cold, ruthless, and unrelenting. And the cruelty doesn't stop there. To twist the knife, the gang sets fire to the manor itself, leaving Catherine Braithwaite screaming as her sons lie dead and her family legacy burns to the ground. This mission shows both sides of the gang, their fierce love for Jack and their absolute willingness to destroy anyone in their path. At the same time, it gives us a chilling glimpse into Dutch's descent. It's iconic, action-packed, and fueled by revenge. Number 5, Banking, the Old American Art. The final score gone horribly wrong. What starts as a typical Rockstar-style bank heist quickly unravels into one of the most devastating moments in the entire game. The game storms the bank in Saint Denis, but just as things seem to be going smoothly, the Pinkertons arrive in full force. Agent Milton takes Hosea hostage, demanding Dutch and others surrender. Dutch tries to negotiate, but it ends in, as Dutch puts it, folks getting shot unnecessarily.
Come on! No!
The moment is brutal and decisive. Hosea was the gang's conscience, the one person keeping Dutch grounded, and his loss shatters what little control Dutch had left. A chaotic shootout follows, and the escape only piles on the heartbreak as the gang scrambles across the rooftops to escape.
Oh, God damn them!
Much like Sean's death, Lenny's death is abrupt and merciless. It hits especially hard because in A Quiet Time, Arthur and Lenny were drinking and having fun together. The contrast makes his death gut-wrenching. The survivors barely make it out. John is captured, Charles creates a distraction, and the remaining 5 sneak aboard a ship under the cover of night, setting the stage for the infamous Gorma chapter. In many ways, this mission mirrors the failed Blackwater heist, another one of Dutch's plans gone to hell. But this time, the consequences are immediate, permanent, and devastating. Banking, the old American art, is everything at once. A tense heist, an explosive gunfight, and a gut punch of loss that signals the beginning of the end for the Van der Linde gang. Number 4, A New Jerusalem. This mission is a complete contrast to most of Red Dead 2. It stuck with me long after I finished the game. In the epilogue, Abigail leaves John because he keeps slipping back into his old outlaw ways. But here, we see a different side of him. With the help of Charles and Uncle, John finally takes a step towards building a real future. Literally. Well, not much help from Uncle, of course. After all, he's dying of terminal lumbago. What follows is a simple but powerful montage. John and Charles putting up the walls, hammering beams, and raising a home from the ground up. Gameplay-wise, it's mostly a series of quick-time events, but it's carried by an upbeat, hopeful song that makes the whole sequence shine. Honestly, that song is what makes this moment so special. After hours of death, betrayal, and tragedy, this mission is a rare moment of peace, hope, and levity. It feels like a rose growing out of the thorns. Once the house is finished, John writes to Abigail, telling her he's built them a home, that he misses her, and that he's done with his old life. There's not much more to this mission. It's short, sweet, and simple, and sometimes that's all you need. A New Jerusalem isn't about action or tragedy, it's about hope, making it one of the most memorable missions in the entire game. Number 3, My Last Boy. Now this is Red Dead 2 at its finest. Tragic, brutal, and unforgettable. My Last Boy follows Eagle Fly's leading an attack on Cornwall's oil factory to avenge the destruction of his people. His father, Rains Fall, desperately pleads with him not to go through with it.
My son, my last son, don't. When I was your age, I fought. I saw death. I have killed. The men I knew were slain. My firstborn, your brother, had his head smashed by a drunken soldier. My wife had her throat slit.
Father, you are tired.
Do not die for pride, my son.
Your words mean nothing to me, Father.
Don't.
Ride with me! Ah!
Stop. Please. Stop.
Arthur and the gang reluctantly ride with Eagle Flies, leading to one of the most iconic moments in the game, the horseback charge.
Let's ride!
What follows is a massive shootout, with the KRYPT and the gang cutting through the US Army. But while Eagle Flies fights for his people, Dutch only has his eyes on one thing: government bonds worth thousands of dollars. During the escape, Arthur gets separated. In a moment that speaks volumes about Dutch's downfall, he abandons Arthur without hesitation. It's Eagle Flies who saves Arthur from Colonel Favors, but he takes a mortal wound in the process. The mission ends with Arthur carrying him back to the camp, where he dies in Rainfall's arms.
My son.
By this point, Rains Falls has already lost his eldest son, his wife, much of his tribe, and now his last son. All he ever wanted was peace, yet he's forced to watch everything he loves destroyed. Meanwhile, Dutch's coldness is cemented. He pushes Eagle Flies into seeking revenge, left Arthur behind, and walked away with nothing but money. This mission captures Red Dead 2's core themes: betrayal, tragedy, and violence. It's a heartbreaking, powerful moment, and easily one of the game's top 3 missions. Number 2, Red Dead Redemption. The self-titled mission, and probably the one most of you expected to be near the top. This is the true finale of the Van der Linde gang. A daring escape, betrayals revealed, fist fights, and one of the most emotional deaths in gaming. It starts out with Arthur and Sadie, stranger trying to rescue Abigail from Agent Milton. Things quickly turn when Sadie is captured, leaving Arthur to free them both. That's when Milton drops the bombshell. Micah has been working with the Pinkertons ever since Guarma. After the escape, Arthur does right by Abigail and Sadie, sending them after Jack, while he heads off to confront Dutch. On the way, you get one of the most iconic moments in the game, Arthur riding while reflecting on his life, as the song plays and past quotes echo in his mind. It's chilling as you know the end is coming. When Arthur finally meets Dutch, John shows up too, furious that Dutch left him for dead. Arthur exposed Micah as the traitor, but Dutch can't decide who to trust. It leads to a tense three-way standoff until the Pinkertons arrive, forcing Arthur and John to flee through the caves. Then comes the player's choice: help John escape or go back for the money. And let's be real here, there's only one choice here. Climbing the cliffside, Arthur makes his final redeeming act, holding off the Pinkertons to give John a chance to escape. He even gives John his hat, cementing John's iconic look in the original Red Dead Redemption, a true passing of the torch. Arthur, holding off the Pinkertons, doesn't make it out. Micah tackles him, and the two trade blows in a fist fight. Dutch steps in and stops the fight between the two men who defined his gang. In his final breaths, Arthur speaks to Dutch.
Oh, Dutch. He's a rat. You know it, and I know it. He's sick. He's dying. He's talking crazy. I gave you all I had. I did. Come on, Dutch. John made it. He's the only one. The rest of us... No. But I tried. In the end, I did.
Arthur dies on that cliffside, watching the sunrise. It's heartbreaking, but it's the perfect end to his journey. We all knew Arthur's fate was sealed, but in the end, he chose to do the right thing. That's his redemption. This mission isn't just a climax of Red Dead 2, it's one of the most powerful finales in all of gaming. Number 1, American Venom. While Red Dead Redemption felt like the finale, American Venom delivers the true closure we needed. Years after Arthur's death and John building his new life, Sadie tracks down one of Micah's men in Strawberry. This could finally lead them to Micah's location. Against Abigail's wishes, John joins Sadie and Charles to hunt them down. After interrogating Micah's guy, you learn Micah and his gang are holed up in the mountains. You get the option to hang or spare Micah's guy, and honestly, that wasn't a tough choice for me.
He's dead.
Thank you.
What follows is a trek across days and nights, as John, Charles, and Sadie make their way to the snowy mountains. Things take a turn. Sadie and Charles are both badly wounded while climbing up the mountain and fighting Micah's gang, forcing John to push forward alone. It's a climb filled with gunfights, but John finally finds Micah and a shootout ensues. Sadie and John corner Micah, and just when it looks like the end, Dutch suddenly appears, and Micah gains the upper hand on Sadie. What follows is a tense standoff between John, Dutch, and Micah. In a shocking twist, Dutch pulls the trigger, but not on John. He shoots Micah, giving John the chance to finally finish him. Micah, the man who betrayed Arthur, divided the gang, and caused so much suffering, finally gets the ending he deserves. It's one of the most satisfying villain deaths in gaming, and the payoff doesn't end there. John and Sadie uncover all the money Dutch has been hoarding throughout the years. John uses it to pay off his ranch, securing a stable future for Abigail and Jack. Where Red Dead Redemption is the tragic, emotional finale, American Venom is the cathartic conclusion. It's justice, revenge, and closure all wrapped into one. The perfect ending to Red Dead 2. And that's my top 10 missions in Red Dead Redemption 2. Did you agree with my list, or is your Peacemaker ready for a duel? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more ranked list videos or my 100% completion videos. If you ever want to chat, I have a Discord server in the description. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.